think we'll move on from the Raptors now because actually, well, we could stay and talk about the Raptors because there is a trade. Not only are they interested in Mo Bamba, but according to Evan Macy, have you heard of him? Evan Macy's a reporter of Hoop Analyst, who I've kind of talked about before. He's actually reporting right now that Raptors and Pacers have open discussions about a trade involving Myles Turner for OG Anunoby. Because that actually could work for both teams too. I don't know if it'd be a straight swap. I mean, I don't know who would throw in who, but I wouldn't mind that either.
I can see the Pacers doing that.
Because the Raptors is a tough one because you could continue with Mo Bamba, but Myles Turner's also.
I just don't see the Raptors. That'd be interesting.
Straight swap or?
I don't think it'd be a 1-for-1. I don't think it'd be a straight swap. I think it would be some extra stuff in there to sweeten the pot because I know the Raptors, for their perspective, they're going to play hardball. They're going to be like, hey, man, Myles Turner, his foot keep acting up. We can't do that. He's extended. He got some big money. We still got to pay him. And we give you a young, promising player like you say you want it, but, you're going to have to give us something decent, to take this. So, but if the Pacers were to do that, that would be a good trade for them, though.
Yeah. That'd
be a perfect trade for them.
I agree. I think OG on the Pacers would actually make a lot of sense. But yeah, do you have to give up more if you're the Pacers? Because I don't feel like they're wanting to give up more because they're already shopping away Brogdon, Turner, Sabonis, Lamb, Levert, everyone and their dad, right? And I think they're expecting to come out of this with at least one All-Star, a couple of solid role players, and some first-round picks. And you should be able to get that out of those 6 players because Sabonis is still an All-Star. Brogdon is worth a first-round pick and a protected first-round pick from someone, right? Some good team would have to offer up at least that. And Turner would have to be a protected first-round pick and at least a solid role player, I would still think, from some team. Like if you're the Lakers, if you trade him to the Lakers, you're expecting Talon Horton-Tucker, a first-round pick, and even Kendrick Nunn out of Myles Turner, I think, because THT hasn't been that great this season. First-round pick, Lakers should still be good enough where a first-round pick doesn't matter too much to them. And Kendrick Nunn hasn't played all season, so that is what it is. But if you're the Pacers, you're expecting a lot out of these players, and I think that's why they're playing such hardball, because not only are they maybe not getting what they want, but these players are contracted for a long time. And it's not like these players are like necessarily interfering with them being good anymore. Like they're bad, right? So they can keep these players on the team and still tank for a pick. And then they can eventually, they can play hardball with them, still get a good pick, and then trade them off eventually for what they see as what they actually want, right? So I don't know if it is.
Do you trade, like, let's say hypothetically with all those names you said, like, if you don't trade, let's say you trade 3 of the 4 of those names, do you really have to trade every single one of them?
That's another question. Do you?
Because me personally, I think they're gonna end up being left with Myles Turner. I think they will find a partner for Sabonis. I do think they're gonna find a partner for Caris LeVert.
Yeah.
I really think they're gonna find a partner for Brogdon
eventually.
But I think Myles Turner is going to be the odd man out because of the injuries, because of that. The article I had seen, it was like as soon as he got that injury, a lot of teams just backed off. They're just scared.
Yeah.
But would it really be that bad to really, let's say you
at least
you
keep
do
one or two?
Yeah, because if you get these young guys you're talking about, and a lot of these players are not bigs, we're talking about you're getting like forwards and younger guards. Would you be more willing to keep those players with Myles Turner now that he's in a situation he always wanted?
I actually believe it's the opposite. I don't think Turner would be the one that stays. I think Sabonis would be the one that stays.
Really?
I think teams are desperate. There are still teams out there that are desperate for Sabonis. Like, let's just say Sabonis' foot injury is a lot worse than we think, and he's still a month away or something, right? The Hornets don't care. If they don't care, they got Mason Plumlee as their starting center. if they have to give up a protected first round pick and Mason Plumlee and something else to get Turner on the team, they're doing it, right? And this could be a perfect opportunity for the Pacers to get a dude like PJ Washington, who's on the trade market too. Could you imagine getting like Plumlee, PJ Washington, a protected first for Myles Turner and I don't know who, maybe just a dude like Jeremy Lamb or something like that? You're probably doing it, right? Both teams win from that trade. Washington's not fitting too much in on the Hornets. He's a young dude that can help out. Plumlee's nothing. He's a salary dump, salary matching. And that protected first round pick to the Hornets means nothing. But to the Pacers, Lamb doesn't mean anything to them anymore. They need to get rid of Turner eventually, need to have a fresh scene. I think Sabonis is the one that would most likely stay for their team because I don't think they're getting enough back for Sabonis. I saw a mock trade the other day where, so a month or so ago, it was reported that Phoenix were interested in him, right? Because the Suns, he would be good for the Suns, I think. Like, the spacing wouldn't be a little bit questionable. We could just bring Jay Crowder off the bench or whatever. But there was a rumor that the Suns offered like Landry Shamet, Dario Saric, a first round pick, and another contract filler. And that's just not enough for an all-star. Like, Saric hasn't even played this season. Shamet's a role player. I think Sabonis is the one that stays. That's my thing on it. I don't think they find a trade for him. It's going to be too hard.
So, I can see that.
Yeah. But the OG one, when we look back at that, Turner and OG, I don't know if necessarily they would have to give up more because I think the Raptors need a center. It's just, can they get Mo Bamba? Will they eventually start getting desperate for one like the Hornets and that are? Because if the Raptors are really good next year and in the same spot that the Hornets are this year, do they then say, well, they already are nearly pretty at the same spot, but I think Hornets are closer to contending, if that makes sense. Do they then say, well, we need a center like the Hornets do? If they can't get Mo Bamba, then I think the Turner conversation starts to get a little bit more interesting because if Dallas don't want him, there'll be teams out there, right? So it's a tough one, but I get what you mean from the injury point of view, though. That injury, I mean, to keep extending it week by week, there's clearly an issue there, right? So
because like me personally, that's where I kind of disagree. I only with the Raptors, with the Raptors part. I would see them be more interested in Mo Bamba than they would be in Myles Turner, which is why I just don't feel like they would, especially if on their side they have to give up more for Turner. Because honestly, I think if the Pacers hit their line and was like, hey, we give you Myles Turner right now, if you give us OG Anunoby a pick and something else, I don't think they're taking that deal. I say that. Unless they're getting less, like you said, Jeremy Lamb, maybe a second round pick, like something to sweeten that up just to say, just in case this happens, I just don't see. Because like you said, I think the Raptors realize if they get the right pieces within these 2 years, they can be back in contention. I really see that, especially if Scotty Barnes takes another leap like he's been this first season, which I didn't expect. And then you keep Siakam, and then Van Fleet keeps balling like this. I think they back in it, but like I said, I think I can honestly see how this could really change on the dime, though. For sure,
I agree with I agree on the Mo Bamba take. They should go way more for Mo Bamba than they should Turner, and I do agree on that OG and for Turner. To be honest, I don't think it would be a straight swap, but it feels, I think it's more of me saying that I don't think the Pacers would trade away Turner unless they got a pick. Yeah. So that makes me think that the Raptors would have to throw in a pick to make this happen, but I don't think the Raptors will, which makes me think that the Raptors probably will be off the table unless they start to get really desperate, which probably won't happen because I think they'll patiently wait for a dude like Mo Bamba to pop up. And that could be, it's so hard though because Mo Bamba, he's I don't see why the Magic would want to trade him. So it's a big tough one.